Hey YouTube, Sack Guy here. Today I want to show you a kit I have put together over the years of my Swiss tool. Now, the sheath I just got last month, it's a Victorinox sheath, nylon, and I put my original Swiss tool in it, which is still a bit stiff getting it in, and then the tool set that I picked up when I was actually at the Swiss Army factory in Switzerland a few years ago. Now, to start with, this Swiss tool, which you look at it, it's kind of worn there. I've had it since 1989 when they first came out. Got it as a Christmas or birthday present, something like that, from my wife. After I got it, I put this puppy into my travel bag the last 3 or 4 years in the Air Force, and this has been all over the world with me. Come in handy many times. Now, not long after this came out, a few years after this came out, they came out with this kit, which is an extension for a bit driver with a small ratchet, and you can put it into the end there, make this into a long screwdriver, or use that as a short screwdriver. Put this in the top, give you some extra torque, or put a bit in it, and then you've got an offset screwdriver here. And depending on which way you put it in order to go the other way, or you can put it in the end like this, make it into a screwdriver, or if you need a little ways that you need to extend it, you got extends out. Now you can also get, these are 1/4 inch bits, standard 1/4 inch bits. You can get an adapter that you would could put on here, and then use it as a ratchet wrench to use the small 1/4 inch drivers. So it's very versatile, and just by adding a couple extra things, you get a fairly complete toolkit there. Now, let's put this off to the side for the moment. On the Swiss tool, it has a very robust pair of pliers. I remember reading one time, not long after I got it, and said comparing this to the Leathermans, that was like taking a light sedan and comparing it to a tank. This knife is built like a tank, and it's very heavy. Let me go through some of the specs on the knife real quick. On the Swiss tool, closed, it's 4.5 inches. The master blades on it are 3 inches, and when you have it open with the blade out, it is 7.5 inches. The weight is 9 3/4 ounces, and it has 11 blades, and many of the blades have multiple functions on it. Now, the ratchet set all combined, all parts of the ratchet set together are 3.5 ounces. The sheath that here, put them all together. The sheath by itself is 20 ounces. So when you put the whole kit together, it's 15.25 ounces, which is quite heavy to carry on your belt. Now, let's move these out of the way for a little bit. Now, one of the nice things about the Swiss Army tool is that you don't have to have it open to get to the blades, and that was one of the downfalls of the first Leathermans. You had to open up the pliers to open a blade, and then if you wanted to use the knife blade, you needed to fold it back up, have the blade sticking out so you could use it. The nice thing about the Swiss tool is you can open the blades while it's still closed. And also another nice thing about the Swiss tool is that all the blades lock open. You have to pull this little tab back in order to fold it. Now this particular blade is the serrated spear point master blade. See if you can see the serrations there. Now on the other side, the other handle, you have the plain edge master blade. I really like this because it gives you the best of both worlds there. Now the other tools are our large screwdriver, then go ahead and open all these, or these three anyway. You have a large screwdriver, then you have a wood chisel with 2 notches on it for wire stripping that actually have edges on it that you can use it for wire stripping. And the chisel I've used several times fixing things around the house where you just need to, like if you're trying to fix a door, your door latch isn't quite catching. I've used that chisel to chisel out the wood so that the door would latch. Or need just to make a divot in the wood in order to start a screw or something. It's also come in handy. Standard flathead screwdriver with bottle opener and the other wire stripper, or wire bender I should say. Then next to that is your can opener with the small flathead screwdriver there that can also be used on a number 2 Phillips. Then you have your wood saw. Very aggressive blade, and you can tell it's been used a little bit. Over on the other side again, the serrated master blade. And then next to it is the awl. And this awl is quite pointy and has a decent edge on it, or it used to. It's been used for quite a few things, scraping and whatnot. Then you have your long Phillips screwdriver. I have used that on any number of different sizes of screws. And one of the things that a friend of mine showed me one time, you fold it out. See if we can You fold it out and you got a really long screwdriver. If you need a long screwdriver, you got it. And then we have the fine screwdriver. Now the tip on this one, if you can tell, I'm not sure if you're able to tell or not. Get that over to the center. It's a little bent. It's for very small screws, and I've used it as a pry bar a couple times. I probably shouldn't have, but it still functions. And then the last blade is your hacksaw and coarse file and fine file, and these work fairly well too. All of these really are just not meant to be your sole toolkit. When I was a field tech, I used to carry this a few times with me, especially if I was having to go up a high platform or a rooftop or something. I would try and take the minimal amount of tools I could with me up there, just because so much weight. I would carry this with me a lot of times because it took the place of so many things, and I could carry a pair of channel locks, this, and a couple other specialty tools that I needed, and it would cover, with those few tools, I could take care of 90% of the stuff I had to do. Now, about 3 or 4 years ago, I got to go to Switzerland. I saw this and I'm going, oh man, that'd be the perfect thing to go with this. Bought it. Didn't think at the time, because I could have gotten a case while I was there, that this would have fit in and that would have fit in. But again, I didn't think about it. Probably just because I was so excited to be there. I got this and a few other things. Didn't get a case. And then, like I said, last month, I was at Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Saw this case and I'm going, I need to get that so these can go in something and I don't lose them. To do day-to-day things, this is when I know I'm going to be out working on something, I'm going to have this with me. And again, normally I have my Swiss Army Pioneer X now. This has become one of my favorite knives. What I carry day to day. Again, because of the weight on this, even this one by itself is very heavy. Unless I know I'm going to be out working on my lawnmower, or going out in the boonies on my four-wheeler or something, I don't carry this. It's in the truck or in the bag I take from the truck to the house, type thing, because it is heavy. But I'll tell you what, if you get a Swiss Army tool, doesn't matter if it's one of the new ones they got out now, they're made the same. They have different types of tools on them. You find the tool set that works best for you. I like this set. It works the best for me. These things will last you for a very, very long time. Like I said, I got this in 1989. Late 1989. I think I got it for Christmas in 1989. And like I said, I love it. Carried it in my flight bag when I go TDY or on temporary duty anywhere. Basically traveling anywhere. This goes into my bag. It's one of the first things that goes in there, because when you get somewhere and you're traveling and there's a loose screw on something, or you need to take something apart for whatever reason, this just comes in so handy. I just can't say enough about it. I really like my Swiss tool. So, Hope you enjoyed this. Hope it was informative for you. And remember, always be prepared.